and welcome to India's coolest online chat show, Chai with me, Lakshmi. Check us out at www.chaiwithlakshmi.in. We're also on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Chai with Lakshmi. And on Twitter, the ID is @ChaiWithLakshmi. Today's webisode is about vermicomposting. We're going to show you how to do it, and we'll also tell you why. Our special guest is Vani Murthy, waste management expert and worm lover. Vani Murthy considers vermicomposting as the ultimate in composting and earthworms to be her pets. Vani's been vermicomposting for over 2 years and has many insights to share. Here's her demonstrating how to set up a vermicomposting bin and how to maintain a vermi bed.
Vermicomposting is the ultimate in composting, especially if you have to grow vegetables in your garden. They give better nutrients to your plants. After you start composting, the next step will be to do vermicomposting.
So how difficult or easy is it to get into vermicomposting?
I wouldn't say difficult, but there is definitely an experiment that I went through. For the past 2 years I have been trying. I have lost my worms many a times. But this is I think an education for me to learn and understand what really sustains a good practice, a worm bin, and what is really a worm bin, and how I can actually take care of my babies.
So you've got a terrace garden here, which I think is packed with worms. How does your family take to it?
They are okay with it. They know my passion to what I'm doing, so I don't think they have any objection to it. And it's a lovely place. They see a lot of greenery, so it's a nice place for us to actually chill out.
So you seem to have a big variety of plants growing in your terrace garden. Can you tell me what all are kitchen worthy here?
It's all in the experimental stage, but I do have a good crop of certain things. So I grow palak, methi, and then dant sappo, and then I have chilies, I have snake gourd, then I have lettuce, brinjal, and then of course mint and other herbs. I have 2 types of basil, Italian and the Thai basil. So
where do you get your first batch of worms from?
Worms have to be bought from people who are rearing them. These are the worms which are specially for your home composting.
Well then, time now for the demo. So the first step, as I've just learned from Vani, is creating a bed that the worms will love.
So first is the tub. You need some kind of container in which you will have the worms. So this is a tub which two parts, and there is a small partition, and there is a gap underneath for the worms to move up and down. And there is also a drain. So the first step is to create bedding for the worms. It's very important that they have a proper bedding in which they go and settle down after a day's work or whatever. You could use shredded cardboard. You could use coconut coir. You could use shredded newspapers, little dry cow dung, which would act as the first feed for the worms. We take the coir, dip it in water, take some shredded cardboard. There is shredded newspaper. So put them all together. This is the dry cow dung, which I have just soaked it in water. So you add it to this because worms love the cow dung. Just mix all of them. Then squeeze the water out, all the excess water. It is moist and it's a good bedding. So there is enough moisture for the worms, because worms love moisture and they need moisture because they breathe through their skin. So they need a lot of moisture. So now that the bedding is done, the next step is to introduce the worms. Before I put the worms, actually I'll put a layer of half done compost. The bedding has enough material for them to feed on, and this compost also is half done, and they're comfortable because this is where they were. Okay. And then comes the actual introduction of the worms. They're beautiful, they're healthy, so you just drop them. Drop the worms into it. They'll all go and settle down, and they stay there. So you have the bedding, you have the worms, and you have a little bit of compost that they've already been in. And now next stage is the food that they need, the fresh food. The food is organic waste from your kitchen. It could be your vegetable peels, it could be your fruit peels. There's again another caution that don't put too much of citrus into it. Then the worms really don't like acidic. They would try to come out or they actually perish. So a lot of fruit peels, they love eggshell powder. So what I do is I just finely grind the eggshell powder and this also goes into it. They love coffee, so this is a day's coffee. It's the chai bags can go into it. All this will disappear in no time because they feed very well. The earthworms, they love to eat. They eat around 1.5 times or one to 1.5 times their body weight. And the microorganisms and the worms will complete the job very quickly, because this is the fastest way of actually converting your kitchen waste into something organic compost and make your plants happy. I would take a little bit of my kitchen waste and actually bury it a little low and keep it buried. Then I sprinkle some eggshell powder. They love to grind on something. It helps them in digestion.
In the first instance, when we've set up the vermicomposting bed and we've added a handful of organic waste, actually we've buried it, when then next can we add more organic waste?
You can actually add it once in 2-3 days for the beginning, and then it starts to build up. The worms also start to build up because they will start hatching and they will multiply. So probably you will be needing to add more as the time goes up.
So this is another example of something you've got in the garden now, right?
Yes. This is my bin, which has been there for almost 3 months now. So you can see the worm there. So fantastic compost is happening. So one day I have to harvest and take all the compost out and put it for my plants. The remaining food waste, my food waste today, I just take it and bury it right under and then cover it. And I think within a week I'll not find anything there because it's all gone.
All your pets are busy working hard.
Yes, absolutely.
So that means in your balcony, I mean, this is a large space, but even in a small one, you can have 2-3 of these tubs and have various cycles of vermicomposting happening simultaneously, correct?
Not necessary. You don't have to. The cycle will be once this is done. Once you know that there is no more, food waste left. So you can actually harvest the worms, take out the compost and leave it for maturing, and then use the worms once again for another round in the same tub.
So Vani actually goes out and does a lot of demonstrations of how to do vermicomposting, and apparently kids love worms.
Yes, they love worms because they learn that worms are the farmer's best friend. I just ask them to hold a worm. First, they're very apprehensive. Some are very brave. They would love to hold it and they enjoy. Everybody wants to have a touch at it. They play with it, and I said, put them back because they can't breathe if you keep them out for too long.
Well, here's what I have to say. I'm not brave. I need a pair of gloves.
Of course. I know you freak out seeing them. It happens. It is okay. It's normal. Yes, if people are uncomfortable touching, because I have been touching them for 2.5 years now, so I am okay with them. But you can use a pair of gloves, and you don't have to touch them actually. You don't have, unless you need to separate them from the compost.
Well, I only have 2 things to say in conclusion. 1, I'm normal, and 2, you need to be brave and try vermicomposting.